taking up today the study of nerves and their control. Now, the particular type of nerves which we're dealing with are those which become disordered for no reason. We say, I'm nervous today or I'm jumpy today. Well, what we mean is that through fatigue or overindulgence in coffee or alcohol the night before, we are unable to meet the common happenings in everyday life with calmness, and the smallest thing upsets us. Now, as in the... As a bit of laboratory work in this field, let us take a look into the home of the typical victim of this particular nervous condition. Lifting a coffee cup to one's mouth is not a major operation, but in this man's condition, it calls for skill and an iron nerve which he has not got. This is due entirely to fear of nothing, really. He can lift the cup, for he's done it many times before, but he's afraid that this time it may fly out of his hand. This first defeat of the day lowers his morale. He's been licked and he knows it. The sound of the telephone bell only serves to confuse him and increase his panic.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Now, it's not an unusual thing to answer a telephone and find that there's no one calling. But to this man, with his nervous system tied up as it is, this incident takes on a very sinister aspect. He has a feeling that the telephone is bewitched, or that he is bewitched. He dreads to have it ring, and he dreads having it keep so still. He has been made the victim of a groundless hysteria, all because he did not get his nerves under control and fight it out with himself. And once the nervous system has started to disintegrate, almost anything will carry the collapse further. He saw the maid go into the closet with the magazines. So far, so good. He did not see her come out, but common sense should tell him that she must have come out, and that he just didn't see her, that's all. The maid doesn't live in the closet. There's not room in there even for her to sit down and read.
Mr. Dokes, may I speak to you for a moment, please?
And so we see that in all this has been absolutely nothing to cause alarm. The telephone rang, and whoever it was cut off, that's all. If the man had faced this simple fact, he wouldn't have been so upset. And just because he didn't see the maid come out of the closet, there's no reason to think that she didn't come out. He just... He just didn't see her. That's all. Now, let's get back to the patient. What is it, Mary?
Those men are here from the plumbing company.
We've got plumbing, haven't we?
Well, they said it's some work Mrs. Dokes ordered done.
Well, do I have to do anything?
Well, I don't think so.
Well, tell them to come in. Come in.
That is merely a plumber. But to our patient, it seems to be a part of a giant conspiracy to bedevil him. Yet, as we can see, the plumber is doing nothing harmful. In fact, he's doing nothing. In cases of neurasthenia like this, the mere exiting of a strange character from the room can cause nervous irritability. Where is he gone? What is he doing? Why didn't he say something? Why doesn't he come back? The fact that there is a cigarette in the box, which he thought was empty, is nothing to worry about. The fact that his lighter works at the first try should not be a frightening phenomenon. Now, that noise is naturally only the plumber coming back. Well, the difference in height could be explained by the fact that there are two plumbers. Of course, there are always two plumbers. Finally manages to detect a really slightly mysterious circumstance. We need not go into the causes of this behavior on the part of the string or whatever it is, as we're not concerned in this lecture with string behavior, but with human behavior. Suffice it to say that the patient's condition has not been improved.
So we see that all that's bothering our friend is that he doesn't know what goes on. It's something that he doesn't understand. But he ought to know that it's just regular plumbing work that these men do every day. And he ought to... he ought to know that. And he ought to realize that there's nothing supernatural. Nothing supernatural about the thing. Anyway, it's, in fact...
We have now reached a point where almost anything will serve to increase the neurasthenia. A sudden noise, voices that he cannot locate, anything out of the ordinary, and the man is impelled to seek a change of scene. He thinks that by going into another room of the house, he may escape his nemesis. It's not his nemesis that he needs to escape. It is his own distorted point of view on life.
Okay, let's have it.
Now, here again we see a very common instinct in such cases, the instinct of flight upstairs. This doubtless derives from the childhood impulse to flee unknown terrors by running upstairs to mother's room, or, in the case, to the bathroom where a drink of water may be obtained. But the plumber's being at work, the water has been shut off. But to the patient, it is only another evidence that all nature is in a conspiracy against his peace of mind. Here we see the ultimate retreat from reality, the desire to hide in a small enclosed space. Here he considers himself safe, forgetting again that when water has been shut off, it must at some time be turned on again.
Hey! Hey! Who's doing that? Hey! Shut out that water! Hey! Stop that! Stop it! Shut off that water!
Well, anyway, the point of the whole thing seems to be never to let your nerves get the better of you, and always remember that nothing is quite as bad as it seems. Are there any questions?